Alright guys, today we're going to be reacting to the real reason why Germany hosted an NFL game. That's interesting. I never knew that was a thing. We're going to see what's going on here. Now I'm very interested. Why an NFL game in Germany? That's weird, man. Are people playing American football over there? We're going to see. Alright, make sure you like to subscribe. Be part of the Discord. Links in the description in the comment section. And also support the channel. Jump in.
League, the NFL, the largest sports league in the United States, played a game in Munich, Germany. On the surface, you might think that this video is just about a sport, American football. But it's not. It's about so much more than that. It's the combination of history, war, trauma, rebuilding, occupation, friendship, and the blending of cultures. This is the real reason why Germany hosted an NFL game. So you might have seen on social media the 70,000 fans at Allianz Arena in Munich singing hand in hand John Denver's Country Roads.
First and 10.
At the first ever NFL game in Germany. I was lucky enough to be there in the stadium and to experience that firsthand. It was one of the coolest moments I've ever been a part of. And I get goosebumps now just thinking about it. But how the hell did this happen? Why did the NFL decide to play a game in Germany? And why was it so popular? The NFL started its international game series in 2007 with one game in London, England.
London, England, Wembley Stadium.
It was incredibly popular, and they recreated it each year until 2012, where they then started to play multiple games in London. England seemed like the obvious choice to have the first NFL international game. I mean, there's a lot of cultural similarities between the UK and the USA, and we do share a language, so it just made it popular, and they still play multiple games there a year today. In 2016, the NFL expanded internationally again to Mexico. Now, Mexico is obviously the USA's southern neighbor, and especially in the southern USA, there's tons of crossover in culture and families, leading to American football to be pretty popular in Mexico. So it also was a pretty obvious choice for an international game. But now, 2022, the NFL wants to expand to another country internationally, and the obvious choice is Germany, a country that does not share a border with the USA.
It would not be Australia, New Zealand. They play rugby over there.
Or a language, and in fact has been at war with the USA 2 times in the last century or so. But this was the obvious spot for the next international NFL game to be held, and I'll explain why. But first I want to give you a little glimpse of what it was like in Munich the day of the game. Laura and I took the U-Bahn to Marienplatz, the famous area of Munich, and it was flooded with NFL fans. It's crazy. So many football jerseys, so much NFL gear, and I'm hearing so many Americans too. Of course, there was a ton of Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Seattle Seahawks gear, but there were jerseys for every team, and it was a great combination of Germans and Americans who flew over for the game. After bopping around Marienplatz for a bit to feel the vibe, we decided it was time to head.
Something about the demographic and the fan base in Germany that I'm not capturing, because I was thinking about New Zealand and Australia will be the next stop because they play the rugby. Rugby is very similar to football.
To the stadium. However, a lot of other people had the same idea at the same time, and the U-Bahn was packed, leading it to break down. So the train just stopped working, everybody had to get off, and that's pretty chaotic. We gotta find out a different way to get to the stadium. So we had to get off. Luckily, Laura and I found a few electric scooters right outside of the station, and we scooted to the arena. Now, let's back up again. Why this day is even possible. On June 28, 1914, Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria, the heir to the throne of the Austria-Hungary Empire, was assassinated in Sarajevo. This led to a chain of events that resulted in the Great War, also known as World War I. This horrible, bloody conflict lasted 4 years and ended in Versailles, which essentially blamed Germany for starting the war and imposed crippling sanctions across the country. These sanctions and reparations eventually led to a horrible economic situation in the country, including
Damn. That's crazy, man, right? Look at that. That picture just speaks a million words, man.
hyperinflation. This in turn led to great resentment in Germany for the powers who forced the Treaty of Versailles upon the nation and inadvertently contributed to the rise of the Nazi Party. People were pissed off, and the Nazis then came to power. Hitler came to power, and in 1939 he started World War II with the invasion of Poland. The Second World War lasted for 6 years and included some of the greatest atrocities mankind has ever committed. After Germany's defeat in the war, the country was officially occupied by the Allied powers. It was broken up into 4 sectors: the Soviet sector, the British sector, the French sector, and the American sector. So there was a bunch of American military bases established in Germany. Now there's less today, but there was tons throughout the 60s, 70s, and 80s. These bases, especially the larger ones, are basically just tiny American cities within Germany. They have American stores, restaurants, schools, and sports. And of course, on the bases, they played America's most popular sport, football. Now, it's probably a little bit...
That's funny. That makes a lot of sense. If there are Americans there, there's a slowly cultural emerging in that area.
different from base to base, but for example, the Unicorns, the team that I play for in the German Football League, was founded in 1983 thanks to a German-American friendship club.
So we still had an American base here at that time with about 800 American soldiers, and there was a German-American friendship club that we approached and said, can you help us finding some people who have played before, we can coach maybe, and that was very important early on.
There was a small American military base right outside of Schwäbisch Hall, the Dahlen Barracks, and these people interacted with the local Germans, formed this friendship club, exchanged cultures, taught each other different things, and the Americans taught the Germans about football. And this is more or less how it happened with all the different bases across the country, and the sport got popular enough in 1979 that the German Football League was formed. Eventually, there was a league called NFL Europe, which included teams from Spain, the UK, the Netherlands, and Germany. The league eventually folded, but not due to lack of popularity of the German teams. The Hamburg Sea Devils and...
Funny. That would make more sense if you can have UK, Spain, German, France, Italy, Norway, Netherlands, just having their own team, and then you can just create like a league, and then at the end you have the Super Bowl, and then you have the Europe Bowl, whatever they call it, and then you can have the teams score against each other. That would be very nice, right?
And the Frankfurt Galaxy pulled 30 to 40,000 people at each game. The sport continued to grow in popularity the last 40 years, and today, according to a recent survey, it is the second most popular sport in Germany behind soccer. The GFL is still around, and there's even a new league, the European League of Football, which capitalizes on the popularity, and around 500,000 Germans watch the NFL on TV every Sunday on ProSieben. So the NFL has taken note of this trend, and that is why we are here in Munich today. And apparently, 3 million people tried to get tickets on the website when they first opened it and crashed the site. That's how much demand there was. Do not doubt the German fans. We eventually made our way onto the grounds around the beautiful Allianz Arena. It was packed and full of energy.
That's a lot of fans. They have more fans than some state. Wow, that's crazy.
Beeindruckend aus.
Pretty cool.
And to all the international guests.
I was really impressed when we were waiting in line to get into this stadium. It was absurdly packed, a scene that would cause pushing and shoving and tension and aggression and a lot of other circumstances. But all of the football fans were so friendly to each other. The huge crowd smoothly moved in through the gates. We got into the stadium and waited in line for some beers and some merch. The atmosphere was electric. Famous German artist Crow performed the pre-game show. The combination of an American sport and a German artist was so cool.
That's beautiful.
One of the coolest moments for me was when they presented the American flag and the German flag on the field before.
Oh, that will give me goosebumps, man. That will give me goosebumps, man. Watching the American flag like that in another country, that would give me huge goosebumps.
The game and sang each country's national anthem. Both of these countries are my home, and it was so cool to see this display of friendship. The game kicked off, and it was loud. It was a great back-and-forth NFL game with high-level talent, and the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady. Which brings us to the beautiful moment of everyone singing Country Roads in the stadium. Arms around each other, belting out the classic song, which is a staple in the German beer tents. Even the announcers on TV were shocked at the moment.
Yes, this is Munich singing John Denver as one. This is awesome. This is literally happening. Listen to this.
So the game concluded with the greatest quarterback of all time, Tom Brady, winning, and he had some good words to say about the German fans afterward.
Yeah, that was one of the great football experiences I've ever had. So
Good,
the end
man.
of the game with them singing.
I don't know, it's just taking a little bit of time to just really spread throughout the world, because I think it's a little bit more expensive. It's not like basketball. Basketball is just simply like a ball in a hoop. Yeah, but baseball and baseball is more common around the world compared to football. But football does require more tool, more stuff. They have to build a huge stadium. It's that's great. It just requires resources.
Country Road, that was.
But I'm glad that we trying to expand this thing, man, because it's good to play here at home. But I would like to see some other countries just putting a little bit of their seasoning into it too.
That was pretty epic.
So, the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, which led to World War I, which led to Germany's defeat in the Treaty of Versailles, which eventually led to the rise of the Nazi Party in World War II, which led to Germany's defeat again and it being occupied by the United States, which led to decades of interaction between American military personnel and German locals, forming friendships, exchanging culture, and learning football, which led to the growth of the game and its popularity to eventually become large enough for the NFL to want to have a game played in Germany.
Good.
And that is the reason why Germany hosted an NFL game. And I am certain that they will host more in the future. That's all for today. Thank you so much for watching my YouTube videos.
I would say make sure, I think it's a great idea. Just make sure you have different countries having a league. It's only 20, 30 games. And just let them go at it, man. And then at the end, we just have the finals. United States versus some Europe country. And let's just go at it. I think that's great, man. What the NFL is doing is great. Great idea to expand more American culture outside, because, at least we have to export something good, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And let me know if you guys have been in one of these games. It'll be nice to see if you guys participated or went there. If you went there, you've been there, let me know what was the experience for you. I'll see you in the next one.